guys? Nerdlocker.com, and we've got your weekly comic book reviews. I'm starting off with Batman number 19. I love that we got kind of a break between Death of the Family and the big Year Zero coming up. This looks like a small little story arc, but it involves one of my favorite Batman villains ever. I'm not going to give it away because you kind of find out halfway through, and it's interesting to see what happens. They also have a super awesome backup story with Superman and Batman kind of teaming up, which we haven't seen too much of, in the Bat books or anything outside of the Justice League. So I was a big fan of this. I'd pick it up if I were you. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
Hey there, guys. Cubby here with my comic reviews this week. I got to do Fionna and Cake number 4, and this book, it just keeps getting better and better. It's just nonstop good storytelling, great placement, great pacing, great art. It's perfect. It's exactly what you would expect a Fionna and Cake TV show to be, but with cool inner narration and cool things that you can do in a comic book. And this particular issue involves the Lumpy Space Prince doing some pretty awesome stuff and being pretty hilarious, and it's really cool and really funny. You guys should totally check this out. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls because it totally deserves every single one of those.
This week I got a chance to read Avengers number 9 by, of course, the awesome Jonathan Hickman. And this one was not a disappointment at all. We learn a little bit about who the actual villain is in this arc. Ex Nihilo's in the issue, which is awesome. And of course, in the beginning of the issue, you know, if you don't know, they kind of highlight the characters that are going to be in the book under the brief synopsis of what's been going on in the arc. And in this issue, they highlighted all of everybody. So pretty much every single hero that's been in Avengers thus far in this series is in this issue, and it's action-packed. There's a big fight at the end that you're going to want to see. So number 9 is a must-read, and for that I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
What's up, nerds? My name is Terrell, and this is my review for Sedge 2, The Second Coming, working title. That's not really in there. We have our main character, Simon Cook, who, if you read the last issues, kind of find himself in a little awkward position. It's really great to see kind of what this book is turning into. You haven't gotten a lot into what this character did before, but you're getting little hints here and there, and it's kind of seeming like he was some sort of superhero or vigilante, but it's really great just piece on him as a character and the people around him. He seems to be retired, and he meets one of his old love interests, Annabelle, who's kind of like a Catwoman for him. So really great issue. If you haven't picked up the first one, they've just done a second printing, so definitely take a look into this. I gave it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Check it out.
Hey, Jasper here, and this is my review of Doctor Who Classic. So, I'm a fan of the TV show, and one thing I realized about the comic book was it was a reissued 1989 book. So, going into that, I came to the conclusion that the writing's stale, and unlike the current TV series, a lot of the things weren't really up to par. So unlike the TV series where you really get pulled in because everything's just visually stunning and the writing's great, it's 1989, and going into that, the dialogue ended up dragging on. The artwork was up to par, but they broke it down into 3 episodes, which was pretty good in a sense of trying to relive it as if it was a TV show. But by issue 2, it started to get very stale and started to get uninteresting. So unfortunately, because of that, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, I got to read Batman and Red Robin 19. Now that it's no longer Batman and Robin, we're getting a new member of the Bat family every issue. And this issue was really, really dark and kind of odd. And I didn't see this coming, but we're seeing Bruce Wayne grieve in a totally different way. In a way I thought I'd never see him grieve, because he does something really drastic in this. But now I'm interested to see how the rest of the Bat family handles their appearances in this book and what it means to, have Batman dealing with the death of his son on top of everything that was the fallout of Death of the Family. This issue also stars Frankenstein, who I love. I'm giving this 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
Alright guys, so I got to read Star Wars number 4 as well, and this is a book I hadn't been reading because I thought it was going to be like stupid adaptation, whatever, I already read the story. No. As Jim has said before, I don't listen to him, it takes place in between episodes 4 and episode 5. So it's in between New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and there's a lot of stuff that happens when we don't ever see, we don't ever know about, which is cool to a point because you can imagine that they do all these really cool things. These comic creators get it out of the way and tell you everything that's going on. It's great. It's really, really great political intrigue, action, suspense. Everything you want in Star Wars is right there. And Chewie and Han, like, talking to each other and talking crap and getting chased by TIE fighters. Hands down the best scene in the book, and it only lasted like 2 pages maybe. But still, really awesome, really fun. If this is what this book is, everyone needs to be reading this, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. You're really messing up if you're not doing it. 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Done and done.
Batman Lil Gotham came out this week with the #1, and while the artwork is fantastic by Dustin Nguyen, I want to say that I really don't understand how this is going to have longevity of with a whole bunch of issues to it. This first issue is kind of a holiday special spread between Halloween and Thanksgiving, which is really, really fun, but I just don't understand why this isn't a one-shot. Fantastic artwork, fantastic storyline, so I'm still going to give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. I just wonder where this book's going to go.
What's up, nerds? My name is Terrell here, and I'm doing my review for G.I. Joe, The Cobra Files, Issue 1. Our issue this week is centered around Chameleon, who is an ex-Cobra operative who's now defected to the Joes. Really great character story, more so than I would say it's an actual action title. It's awesome just to see how her relationship is growing with Flint, seeing as all her other relationships have kind of just fizzled out. You know, most of the men she's ever loved have actually died, so she's kind of going in a little vulnerable into this next one. I'd give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. You should definitely pick it up.
Another Bat book this week, Batgirl, number 19, came out, and I am loving this. I felt there was a little lull here, kind of right before Death of the Family, and the Death of the Family story was cool, but it just wasn't the high-paced book I had when it first came out. But I feel like this issue right here is setting up for its second wind. The ending of this is really, really cool. It sets up for something big in Barbara Gordon's life and really dealing with her family. You know, her brother, now that her mom's back, and of course her father, Commissioner Gordon. There's this huge dilemma that happens, and I'm interested to see how this is handled with the Gordons' relationship with the Bat family in this new kind of universe with Barbara being able to walk again and everything, or in the New 52. But yeah, this sets up for something really cool, and as long as Gail Simone is, continuing to write this book, I will definitely be reading it and checking out what's in store. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, guys, so I got to read Age of Ultron number 5 this week, and I've really liked this whole series so far. It's been really, really fun. It's a big event, the way it should be, the way Brian Michael Bendis' event is going to be. It involves everyone in real time, dying, and there's all these people that have already died, and you feel it, and it really gets to you. It's so far, it's made me cry at least like 3 times. And this issue has a big reveal. You see some characters come back. You kind of figure out what's going on. You kind of figure out how things are going. Flashback scenes are cool, yada, yada, yada. Awesome armory shot where, everyone's cool weapons are there and they pick up their stuff. And it's really fun and cool characterization in it. But it seems like it's that middle part where you're either going to get a lot of story or you're going to get a lot of exposition. And right now it feels like exposition, which is cool. It's fine. Next issue is probably going to be bananas. This ends with oh man. But being that it was a little slower and Brian Hitch's artwork was a little shaky on it, I'm only going to give it 3.5 Nerd Skulls. Still great. Almost 4, but 3.5.
Invincible Universe #1 came out this week, and as a huge fan of Invincible, I had to pick it up. Unfortunately, it is not Robert Kirkman, but Phil Hester kind of fills in his shoes pretty well. The storyline really doesn't draw me in, but it has so many characters that I care about in the Invincible Universe, and I want to hear more about. And there's origin stories in this book, and somebody's narrating, and I have a feeling it's Angstrom Levi. I feel like we're getting a big war that's going to come again in Invincible, although it's kind of becoming in bad taste. I'm really looking forward to another adventure with Angstrom Levi versus Invincible. Todd Knock artwork is always fun to me, so I'm going to give this book 3.5 Nerd Skulls.
I got to read Sledgehammer 44 #2. This is such a fun book. I hope to see more of this character because this issue they really show what the character's about, why the robot was kind of out of commission the entire time after, he took down the bad guys in the first book and just been laying there. This goes into that. And this is a really neat character. I'd really like to see more of him. I'm hoping that maybe some of the older BPRD, like the 1940 BPRD books that they've been writing, we see him, or maybe tie him into current BPRD continuity, see him in modern day. But this is an awesome character, and I really, really want to see more of him. Dark Horse, if you hear this, let's see more of him. So I'm giving this 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, folks, so I got to read Uncanny Avengers number 6, and a really great book, a really awesome book, but the title should have been changed to Thor versus Apocalypse, because that's the entire issue, is just a giant fight between those two dudes. And it's like a century-spanning fight, almost like what Thor's own book is doing, which is really cool, by the way, on its own. But this book, it kind of explains what's going on, what's going to be coming up, where the story is going, what has been leading up to this. It's really awesome to see that, especially just Thor throwing down with Apocalypse, and it's like, oh man, Apocalypse could kick his butt real hard right now. So I'm not going to spoil anymore. I'm not going to give away anymore. Read this issue. It's really, really great. It's one of the better books for me right now. I'm totally giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Everyone gets 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls for everyone!
Now, I know it's been a while, but this week I'm reviewing Walking Dead because 109 was actually a very good issue. We're obviously leading up to a big war with 3 surrounding communities and Negan's big group. If you don't know, Negan is this really, really bad dude that pretty much threatens everyone with their lives in the surrounding communities and makes them provide him and his group with food and all the drugs and all this other stuff. And now the 3 communities are banding together to kind of have this secret, killing of Negan behind everyone's back. And it looks really exciting. I can see where it's going. I can see how good it's going to get. Right now in this issue, it's just the beginning. And it's a whole bunch of exciting stuff that happens, including possibly who's a backstabber in this issue. We're going to find out maybe somebody that's twisted sides. A lot of intrigue in this issue. So you're going to want to check it out. And for that, I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.